Hello, it's Richard. Another video. This video is going to be a vinyasa flow video, and we're going to be thinking about the core going through the movements, thinking about the core when we get down onto the mat as well. Going to go straight into it. So come to the top of your mat. And we're going to do this nice sequence that I'm teaching quite regularly now in my classes. So find a mountain position, lift your toes, broaden through your toes. I'll come square on with the screen here so you can see my toes are wriggling around. And then if you find you haven't got much movement in your toes, take your hands away from the body, reach and stretch out your fingers, and then wriggle your toes and come forwards and backwards, just rolling through the ankles here. Warming up the joints, just getting the joints mobile a little bit, and just feeling how you feel on your feet. Just notice any sensitivity. Okay, so from a mountain pose here, we're going to take a breath in and draw the arms up, reaching up. And of course, anytime there's anything that I do in this video and you're following, you're not sure about, simply don't do it. On a breath out, bend your knees, take your bum backwards, float your hands down onto your shins. Okay, just go within the capabilities of your body. When your hands land on your shins, as you breathe in, lift your chest up, straighten your legs. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, but take the arms out nice and wide. A slow inhale as you rise slowly up to standing. Draw the arms up into a nice wide position. Weight goes down into your right foot, floating the left foot off of the back, bringing the knee up to about waist height. And then a breath out, cactus in the arms, bringing the elbows down. Breath in, foot to the floor, hands lift. I'll come side on to show you. Breath out, bend the knees, bum back, float the hands down onto your shins. With a slow breath in, lift the chest up, half lift, straighten the legs, weight comes forward so the legs are almost vertical. Breath out, take the bum back, bend the knees, draw the arms out nice and wide. Slowly breathe in as you rise up. This time press into your left foot as the right knee lifts up about waist height. As you come up, nice, big, tall mountain. As you breathe out, cactus the arms. Bring the elbows down, shoulder height. Breath in, lift the arms up, take the foot to the floor. Breath out, take the bum back, float the hands down onto your shins. With a slow breath in, half lift, weight comes forward, lifting the heels off of the mat. Breath out, bend the knees, bum back, draw the arms out nice and wide. Pressing down already into your right foot as you rise up, lifting the left knee up about waist height. Breath out, cactus the arms. This time, see if you can get a little bit of extension in that leg, working your hip flexors. Breath in, hands lift, foot to the floor. Breath out, bend the knees, float the hands down. Nice and controlled. Try to squeeze your tummy in through these movements. Breath in, half lift here, straighten the legs, lean forwards, legs are vertical, tension in the hamstrings. Breath out, bum back, bend the knees, draw the arms out nice and wide. Weight goes down into your left foot, slowly lifting up, lifting the arms up. And a breath out, cactus in the arms as you extend through that right leg. Check the hip flexor. And breath in, foot to the floor, hands lift. Breath out, bend the knees, float the hands down. Breath out, breath in, half lift, and then bend the knees, hands to the floor. So walk back into a downward dog, and as you come into downward dog, pedaling the legs here. Again, pulling your core, your solar plexus up into your rib crest. I mentioned this in a number of my videos. It's really good to get that core engagement in most of these postures where it permits, where it allows. And then slowly inhale through to plank. Now the core will be engaged, squeezing through the back, around the sides, squeezing the tummy button in as well. Feeling really strong here. Breath in, exhale onto your knees, chest chin to the floor, and then breath into cobra, drawing the shoulders back as you lift the chest away, looking down at the floor. Breath out to the floor, and tucking the toes in, push up onto your knees, take the hips backwards, breath out, downward dog. Okay, with a breath in, lifting the left leg up nice and high. With a breath out, bring the knee down the middle of the mat to your chest. Breath in, lift up, three-legged dog. Core engaged, breath out to the floor. And then breath in, right leg lifts up, three-legged dog. Breath out, knee to chest, core engaged. Keeping that squeeze around your lower body, your middle body, your spine. And breath out to the floor. Look up between the hands, walk on your toes slowly to the top of the mat to a bent knee, forward bend. Drop the bum back, slowly inhale the hands out to the side and up. This time, come all the way up into tall mountain. And breath out, straight leg forward bend, hands to your shins. Breath in for a half lift, weight forwards onto the front of the feet as the legs are vertical, lifting the sit bones up. Breath out, bend the knees, hands to the floor. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Breath in, bring the chest forwards, bending through that front knee as you find that length through the hip flex. So again, squeezing around your core here. And then drop the knee to the floor, push up, squeeze around your core. Inhale the hands up into a Crescent moon lunge. Exhale, lean into the lunge. Taking a couple of breaths here, keeping that core engagement, tightening everything up around the spine, building controlled strength, integrity. Breath in, and then exhale, float the hands down to the floor, lifting that right knee off the floor and step back into a downward dog. Inhaling through to plank. Core squeezed in, exhaling, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, draw the chest away, drawing the shoulders back, core squeezing. Exhale, come all the way to the floor, tucking the toes in, pushing up onto your knees, and gently sitting back into child as you stretch and lengthen through the back. Breath in, come up onto your knees with your toes tucked in, hips high, heels down, downward dog. And then look up between the hands, bend the knees, walk slowly to the top of the mat. Drop the bum back, squeeze your core, take the arms out nice and wide, and slowly elevate all the way up. Tall mountain, and a breath out, straight leg forward bend, diving down, hands to your shins. Breath in for a half lift, weight forwards on the front of the feet. Breath out, bend the knees, hands to the floor. Stepping the left foot to the back of the mat, and then draw the chest forwards as you bend through that front knee, feel that stretch through the hip flexor. Okay, and then dropping the left knee to the floor, squeeze it around your waist, your middle body, come all the way up, lift the hands up, crescent moon lunge, and exhale as you lean into the lunge, feeling that nice stretch, but keeping, again, your spine supported by squeezing around the body here. And breath here. Breath in, then float the hands down to the floor, tucking the back toes in, lift the back knee off of the mat, step back into your downward dog. Okay, slowly inhale through to plank. This time drop onto your knees, drop your forearms down, bring in your shoulders on top of your elbows, walking the feet to the back of the mat and finding a forearm plank here. I really like forearm planks because they're super good to build that strength around that core, but they're not such a challenge if you're suffering with issues with your wrists. Grounded through the forearms, looking down at the floor, keeping the body still, perfectly still, by squeezing around the middle body. Not going to do anything else here, but simply stay and breathe, and you'll start to feel that fatigue build up pretty soon. But if you can hold here for about 5 breaths, and if you have enough already, you can drop onto your knees. Otherwise, take one more breath and drop to your knees, chest, chin to the floor. Hands either side of your rib cage, elbows tucked in. Draw the chest forwards and through and up into cobra. Exhale to the floor. And push up onto your knees and back into child. Stretching out through the back. And stay on the mat for the next posture, lifting the head up, looking up, coming all the way down onto your fronts again. Tops of the feet come on the floor, chest and chin to the floor. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, keeping the tops of the feet on the floor. Draw the arms back behind you as the chest lifts, shoulder blades come towards each other into a half locust. And I really like this posture because it really localizes the sensation in the lower back of your spinal erectors, working to lift the chest up, really contracting, engaging, shortening. And you can feel that effort, you can feel that engagement. So breathing softly here. Again, these are super powerful core muscles for your posture and to protect your spine. And because this is quite localized, because the feet are grounded, it really is quite safe as a back bend, as a core strengthener. Okay, release to the floor, hands either side of your rib cage, push up and take a counter pose in child, take the knees out a little bit wider and sit the hips back as you pull back on those grounded hands to find that space. Around about the same area that the muscles that just tensed, tightened, contracted. So now allowing a little bit of release here. Breathing softly into your tummy. As you breathe into the diaphragm or the tummy, the diaphragm massages the front of the lumbar spine. Just relieving, massaging, releasing tension here. Lift your head up, come up onto your knees, bring your knees hip width apart. Okay, we're going to step the left foot to the top of the mat, tucking the right toes in and then lifting the right knee off of the mat. Steadily, slowly pushing up into a high lunge. As you come into high lunge, even pressure through both feet, bending through that front knee, lifting the back knee off of the mat. So the front knee points over the toes and pushing into the back heel to keep that back knee engaged. really good, strong core engagement here to have your axial body coming up, reach the hands up either side of the head, looking straight forward, and you can really feel the solar plexus, the space here. So lifting up with just under the rib crest here, feeling the power here, okay? Stay here, a couple of breaths, just to establish ground, feel the tension and the intensity of this posture, and then a breath in, and we take a lunge dip as you bend through the knees, taking the hands down, stretching a hip flexor, and then breath in, lift all the way up. Okay, take the arms out nice and wide now. We're going to sweep the right arm under the left arm to get an eagle bind here. So the elbows cross, bend the elbows, bring the backs of the hands together or in front of us, and lift up. Pull your tummy in, squeeze around your middle body, and a little bit of a back bend here as you look up, as you lift your elbows up. Okay, breath in, and then release the hands above you. Another breath in here, and then float the hands down to the floor, to low lunge. When you're in low lunge, stepping that left leg all the way back, inhale up, three-legged dog, bending the knee, and taking the knee outwards, push down into your right heel, feel that efficient, effective grounding through the back foot, lifting your left knee up even further, and then rotating your ankle in space. Just find a couple of rotations here, just feeling that range of movement in your ankle. Good 3 points of contact on the mat. Breath in, as you breathe out, bring the knee back in line and taking the foot to the floor. Breath into plank, breath out to the floor, knees, chest, chin. Breath in, draw the chest away into cobra, drawing the shoulders back. Maybe you lift the front of the pelvis off the floor, maybe you lift the knees off the floor into an upward dog. Take a breath here and release to the floor. Tuck the toes in, push up onto your knees, send the hips back, and drive up into downward dog. And then dropping down onto your left knee, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Let's make it easy for ourselves. And tucking the back toes in, lift the left knee off the floor. Positioning yourself for a high lunge, ankle underneath, drive down into that front foot. You come up, draw your strength in around the middle part of the body. Your right knee points over the toes, and you're pushing into that back heel to lift that back knee off of the mat. Okay, so nice, real stretch of your hip flexor. Drawing the arms up will create space in your rib crest. Pull your core musculature up into that space. Okay, taking a couple of breaths here, establishing grounding foundation, feeling the integrity of the posture, feeling strong here with that really good core engagement. Breath in, on a breath out, bend the knees, float the hands out to the side, nice and controlled, stretching that hip flexor, and then a breath in, lift up again. Take the arms out nice and wide, palms down, drawing your left arm onto your right arm in front of you, cross the elbows and bring the hands up in front of you, the forearms up in front of you. Slowly, with really good core engagement, reach up, lean backwards a little bit. It's good to pull your belly button in tightly here to support your lumbar spine. It's quite a challenging back bend. It's great, a great posture for shoulder, your shoulder complex, control and strength. Okay, breath in here. As you breathe out, release the hands. Breath in, lift the hands up. And breath out, float down. All the way down to low lunge. Step all the way back, three-legged dog. This side, bending the knee, taking the knee outwards. Pushing down into that left heel, lifting the knee up, opening the hip, and circling through that ankle. Good range of movement through that ankle. And then bringing the knee in line. As you breathe out, back to downward dog. Okay, inhale through the plank, nice vinyasa here, just to keep things moving. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Tops of the feet on the floor. Maybe with your eyes closed, inhale, feel your way up into cobra and see how you are here. Drawing the shoulders back, going for height maybe, looking down at the floor and breathing out to the ground. Tucking the toes in, breath into tabletop or plank if you want, and then breath out, downward dog. Look up between the hands, bend the knees, maybe walk or jump to the top of the mat, and then breath in here. And as you exhale, draw the arms behind you. Inhaling up into chair, drawing the knees back, dropping in, and exhaling, folding forwards. Half lift on the inhale. Bend the knees, drop the bum back. Exhale, and take the arms out nice and wide. Slowly inhale, rising up to tall mountain. And then exhale, palms down onto your chest. Lean into your left foot. Lean forwards, take the right foot off of the floor. Step the right foot to the back of the mat into a lunge. Inhale the hands up, high lunge. On an exhale, we're going to come into rocket. So reach the hands up nice and high, either side of the head. Now pivot at your hips as you take the whole body forwards. Nice big long line from the back of your right heel to the tip of your fingers, looking straight down at the floor, feeling the way into that front thigh. Okay, breath in here, core really engaged now. As you exhale, sweep your right hand down behind you to point it back towards your right leg. Inhale here when you're static. On the exhale, swing. Inhale here and swing. Inhale here and swing on the exhale, drawing your core in when you swing, keeping everything locked and firm. Inhale here and swing. Okay, inhale here and then slowly bring the hand backwards. Weight comes down onto that front foot and step up into a balanced Superman here. Breathing steadily, feeling the effort, but keeping the breath steady. Lower the hands to the floor, standing split, and slowly float that right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Press down into the mat with the hands, step back, downward dog. Dropping your right knee to the floor, straighten out the left leg, drop the left heel to the floor, lean into your right hand and draw the left arm forwards and reach forwards. Find that nice stretch here. And if you've got really good grip with your right hand, find the balance here as you stretch through the whole body. Again, really good firm control through the middle part of the body to lock everything, to hold everything, to control everything. If you're stable, still, locked, strong in your core here, then there's no reason why the body needs to waver, to wander, to wobble. Okay, if you're okay here, breath in. On an exhale, elbow to knee. And then inhale, lengthen, extend. You can do this again if you want, otherwise stay where you are in whatever position you're in. Okay, look down at the floor, drop the left hand to the floor, drop the left knee to the floor, tucking the toes in, into downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, pedaling the legs to restorative posture. And then lift the head up, bend the knees, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Let the arms dangle and then release the shoulders, let the head hang. Just recovering, just slowing the breath down, just slowing the movement down. And then very slowly rise up to mountain, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale the hands up nice and slowly. And then as the palms come down onto your chest, lean down into your right foot. So you can step the left foot to the back of the mat, finding a lunge here. So taking your time to feel that grounding, feeling the control, feeling the alignment, and drawing the arms up nice and high. Drawing your solar plexus up into your rib crest. Like a lunge dip, why not? Breathe out, take the hands down, and breath in, lift up. Okay, now rocket. Again, keeping the arms either side of the head. Push into that back heel as you gently reach upwards and forwards, bringing the body forwards, pulling your core in, feeling the strength in your core here. From here, inhale on the exhale, taking the left hand behind you, reach behind you, inhale here and swing. As you swing, exhale, pull your core in even more. As your diaphragm flies up on the exhale, you'll find space. So each time you move, you breathe out, you pull your core in. Let's do one more of those. Now looking down at the floor, we're going to draw that left arm behind us, And we take that Superman balance. So stepping up onto that right foot, finding the balance here. Maybe a little softness in the knee to control, keeping your core locked in. Looking down at the floor, feeling the strength in your core here. Big limbs hanging away from center of gravity, all being stabilized, supported by a strong core. This will allow your balance to work a lot more efficiently, a lot more effectively, and then lowering your hands to the floor. Lowering your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Then inhale, start three-legged dog, and drop down. Okay, dropping your left knee to the floor, keeping the right leg straight, roll the right heel down, lean into your left hand. Slowly take the right hand up, breath in, and draw it forward for a big, long side stretch here. And now's the time we start to really go to town on our core, squeezing the back, squeezing the side, squeezing the front, and feeling that grounded through the left hand. So you can lift that right foot off of the mat, point to the toes, point to the fingers, still finding that stretch, that control, that balance, that stability. And if this is okay, stay here. If you want to go a bit deeper, a breath in on the exhale, maybe a knee to elbow crunch, and then lengthen, extend. And on the next exhale, a knee to elbow crunch, finding the balance, using your core again, functional stability. Down at the floor, drop down into tabletop. Take the knees out nice and wide. Sit the hips back just to release your hips. Come into child pose, taking a couple of belly breaths here. Okay, come all the way up. Okay, now lying down on the fronts now. Slowly come down to the fronts, chin, chest, tops of the feet on the mat. Draw the arms above the head, palms down. Okay, to come into lizards now. So lizards, without lifting your head up too much, keep your gaze down directly in front of you. We're going to lift the right hand and the left foot off of the mat. Okay, breath. In here, exhale down. Inhale while you're flat. On the exhale, lift the left leg and the right leg. Taking a couple of breaths here. And down, release. On the exhale, lift the right arm and the left leg, point to the toes, point to the fingers, taking a couple of breaths here. And down. And then again, left arm, right foot, point to the toes, point to the fingers, breathing softly. And down. Take a couple of breaths. And then if you want, both hands, both legs, looking down at the floor, not craning, straining your neck, but feeling the effect in your core and breathing. And release. Hands either side of your ribs. Push onto your knees and back into child. Just belly breathe in to massage your spine and drawing the hips back to find some space in your lower back. And then come up onto your knees, roll onto one side and all the way down. On your backs, roll onto your lower back, wrapping your hands around your knees and squeeze and release your knees a couple of times. Okay. And staying grounded on your lower back with your head and shoulders on the floor, extend your left leg and pull your right knee into the chest. Point your left toes. Take your arms out to the side, fingertips behind the ears, and slowly turn to the right. Bring your left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale here. On an exhale, we change. So we change the leg. So point the right toes, lengthen that leg, and turn into the left, bringing your right elbow towards your left knee. Inhale here. And on the exhale, you change. On the exhale, you pull your tummy button in to ground your lower back into the floor. And you extend that leg as far as you can, and you bring the knee up as far as you can. Inhale here and switch. Inhale here and then switch. Inhale, switch. I'll go on the exhale. Inhale, switch. Inhale and switch. Inhale and switch. One more on each side. Inhale here and switch. Inhale and switch. Okay, bring both knees into the chest. Squeeze and release the knees. Massage through the lower back. And then a little back roll here up through the spine. Up to seated. From a seated position. Taking your legs in front of you. Bending your left knee. Bring it over the outside of the right leg. Wrapping your right hand around that knee. Keeping the body upright. Propping the spine up behind you with your left hand. And then twist through in an upright position. Your spine to look back over your left shoulder. Squeezing the knee in, stretching the glutes. Looking back, rotating around as much as you can. Really trying to soften up the core here, using your ribs to breathe. And slowly let go. Changing over. Stepping over. The right knee up into the chest. Wrap your left arm around that knee, or connection with that knee. Slowly turn to the right. Prop your spine up with your right hand and twist round and look back over your right shoulder. And release. Bend in your right knee, bring it into the side, the inside of your leg, putting the toes up, reach up with the hands, reach forwards, drop the hands down, releasing your right hip, your right knee, bringing the chest, chin forwards, find some tension in the back of that straight leg. Drawing the top of the head forwards. So trying to get length in your spine, just noticing that we just rotate the spine both ways. The discs of vertebra, now we're trying to lengthen the spine and bring back some good alignment through the whole of the spine by lengthening the spine, bringing the crown of the head forwards, the chest forwards. And come out of that, we change over. So bend in through the left knee, sole of the foot comes in, straighten that right leg, pull the toes up, position yourself over that straight leg, reach the hands up nice and high, and pivot at your hips. As you reach forwards with the hands, think of that, the spine extending, lengthening, dropping down onto the leg. For a bind if you wish, but try to bring, whatever you do, try to bring the chin, the chest forwards, creating space in your spine. And come out of that. Okay. Come down on your lower back. And we take a figure of four, so ankle onto the right thigh. Wrap your hands around the right thigh and draw that knee into your chest. Stretching through your hips. And lower down, change over. Taking the knee out, right ankle on top of left knee, drawing that left foot off the floor. Wrap your hands around the thigh and draw that leg in. Find some tension in your hip. Always remember to release, soften any contracted muscles that might reactively jump on. Okay, and then come back, plant the feet down on the floor, head and shoulders on the floor now. Okay, shuffle around, bringing your heels up towards your bottom, plant your feet down, hands down the side of the body, flatten the lower back into the floor as you pull the tummy button down, and then drive your feet into the floor as you lift your pelvis off the floor into bridge. When you're off the floor with your pelvis,
You can stay here in bridge, or you can shuffle your arms under your back, interlace your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other, get a little bit of height, get some grounding through your shoulder blades, through the deltoids, through the big, powerful triceps, and then grounded down through your left foot. Maybe lift the right leg off of the mat, straighten the leg, point the heel up, drive into the floor with that left foot as you drive into one leg bridged. And then come down. If you're in conventional bridge, you can come out of that, bring your knees up into your chest and massage your lower back. Otherwise, with this one leg bridge, drive down into the foot, the right foot as you lift the left leg off of the mat, flex the ankle, and then drive into the floor as you lift the pelvis up. Really strong in your quads and your lower back and your glutes. Breathe in steadily here. And lower that foot down. Take your hands away, keeping your navel pulled in, roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. As the pelvis comes down on the floor, bring the knees in, hug the knees. And then take the feet to the floor, slide the feet to the bottom of the mat, point the toes. Reach the hands away above them, far above you. Stretch the whole body here. As you reach up with the fingers, reach down with the toes, and squeeze as much as you can here. Squeeze and reach and lengthen and stretch. Creating some space in your body. Opening up the tissues, the muscles, the joints. Breath in, breath out. And release. Bring your hands down the side of the body. Let your feet flop out to the side. And tuck your chin in. And just let the body let go now. Make any adjustments you need to. Feel that sensation of release across your whole body. It's been quite a powerful class practice. And now it's time to just let go and feel the ground beneath you and be enveloped, wrapped up with the ground beneath you. Let the body go. Immediately bringing your attention into the breath. And maybe you can sense the echo of your heartbeat as well. With the body nice and resting and still and relaxed, the breath, rate and depth was slow and shallow. And simply give in to gravity. Let go. Allow your body to become heavy. And if your mind has already jumped onto a surfacing thought or feeling in your mind, your memory, or a to-do list, recognize where it goes. And just bring it back here into this quiet place in your body. Follow your breath. And as you ease your nervous system into rest, digest, repair, stay connected with your body, the feelings, softening any tension as it appears.
And you come to the end of the next breath. Bring a great big breath of air into the body, filling the lungs as much as you can. And releasing that breath. Then start to move your body very gently. Start with the extremities, the fingers, the toes. Maybe draw your knees up into your chest and give your knees a squeeze, massage into your lower back one more time. Or roll to any one side and take a few deep breaths in. And in your own time, make your way upright. So hopefully you might have got a sensation, if it might already be in your yoga practice, that when we go through some of the big power moves, it's really useful to re-engage or engage with our core muscles, squeeze that corset around. And the more we do this in our yoga practice, the more it becomes almost a natural, habitual thing. So when you find yourself out and about doing stuff, you might find yourself tightening your core up, which is a great technique for your spine, for the longevity of your spine. We don't ever want to have a situation with our back. And so that's why I'm really big on functional stability, being aware of when we take heavy limbs away from the center of gravity. That's why we need to tighten things up. And it seems to work for me. And I do find now that, you know, even through my regular, normal home yoga practice, I can feel that core engagement, and it certainly helps with the balance. So practice, practice, practice. Love to know any feedback, any thoughts. Give me, drop me a line. Otherwise, see you next time round. Stay safe and enjoy your yoga. Thank you very much.